Let me ask you something that nobody on financial TikTok is going to ask you. If the middle class is supposed to be the backbone of America, the whole dream, right? Work hard, play by the rules, buy a house, retire comfortable. Then why does it feel like the floor is caving in? Why are people pulling in $100,000 a year, a number that used to mean you'd made it, and still living paycheck to paycheck, still stressed? Still one car repair away from a credit card spiral, still telling themselves next year will be different. Here's the answer nobody wants to hear. It's not going to be different because the system that built the middle class is not broken. It's working exactly as designed, just not for you. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on what's actually happening to America's middle class, the real numbers, the real reasons, and the uncomfortable truth about why most people sitting right where you are will never, ever get out. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you're going to see the trap, the exact trap that's been set around your income, your savings, your retirement, and your kids' future. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let's start with the numbers, because the numbers are genuinely horrifying, and I need you to feel that before we talk about why. In 1970, the middle class held 62% of America's total income. Today, it's down to 42%. Gone, evaporated. And in that same time period, the top 5% went from holding 16% of the income to over 30%. They didn't just grow, they ate your half of the pie. Now, most people see a chart like that and they think, okay, this is an income inequality problem. Rich get richer, poor get poorer, nothing new. The answer is obviously higher wages, right? Get people paid more and the middle class bounces back. That's what I thought too. That's the wrong answer, and I'll show you why. Because wages have gone up. Median household income in America is at an all-time high, around $75,000. On paper, the middle class should be doing great. So why does everybody feel broke? Why does the Federal Reserve's own survey say that nearly 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing money? How are wages up and savings down at the same time? Here's where most financial YouTubers will say, it's inflation. Inflation ate your raise. And yeah, true, inflation is real. Groceries are up 25% since 2020. Rent is up 30% in most major cities. Gas, insurance, childcare, all up. Inflation is absolutely carving into your paycheck, but inflation alone still doesn't explain the full collapse. Because even accounting for inflation, real wages for middle-income earners are higher than they were in 1990. Yet people feel poor. Yet savings are cratering. Yet credit card debt just hit an all-time record of $1.3 trillion. So what is actually going on? Some people will tell you it's lifestyle inflation. Americans just spend too much. We buy too much stuff. Netflix, DoorDash, the $7 latte, we're our own worst enemy. And look, spending habits matter. I'm not going to sit here and pretend they don't. But here's the thing that makes me furious about that argument. Blaming middle-class people for their lattes while ignoring what's happening at the structural level is like telling someone who just got hit by a truck that they should have looked both ways. Because the real villain in the story is something that doesn't have a face. It doesn't show up in your bank statement. It doesn't even have a name that most people recognize. But it is the single biggest reason the middle class is crushed, and almost nobody is talking about it. It's what economists call non-discretionary cost inflation, but I'm going to call it what it actually is, the cost trap. And it's three walls closing in on the American middle class at the same time. Wall 1, housing. The median home price in America is now over $420,000. To qualify for that mortgage at today's rates that just hit a 23-year high, you'd need to earn somewhere north of $110,000 a year. The middle class literally cannot afford to buy the asset that builds wealth for the middle class. You're priced out of the thing that's supposed to save you. Wall 2, healthcare. The average American family now spends over $24,000 a year on health insurance and out-of-pocket costs. Let that sink in. $24,000. That's a second rent payment every single year just to not go bankrupt if someone gets sick. Wall 3. Education. The average cost of a 4-year college degree has gone up 180% since 1980, adjusted for inflation. We were told that education was the ticket out, that it was the investment that guaranteed you a middle-class life. Instead, 45 million Americans are now collectively carrying $1.7 trillion in student loan debt, a number that has more than doubled in the last decade. The ticket worked for your parents. It's a scam now. So here's where it gets even darker. And this is the part of the story where I thought the solution was obvious. My first instinct, and honestly, probably your first instinct too, is, okay, just earn more, side hustle, get a promotion, work your way out of the cost trap. Hustle culture has an answer for everything, right? Here's the gut punch. When a middle-class household earns more money, something happens that the rich almost never experience. You get bumped into a higher tax bracket, your healthcare subsidy disappears, your kids lose eligibility for financial aid, the government programs that were quietly subsidizing your budget phase out, dollar for dollar as your income rises. There is literally a mathematical zone, economists call it the benefits cliff, where earning an extra $10,000 a year can actually leave a middle-class family with less money than they had before the raise. Less. You earn more and you fall further behind. The treadmill doesn't just speed up, it starts running backwards. And that is the trap. Not your spending, not your discipline. The architecture of the system itself is built so that the harder you work within a certain income band, the more efficiently the machine extracts your gains and redistributes them upward. Okay, so is this just a doom video? Are we just here to watch the middle class crushed and feel bad about it? No, because here's the thing about traps. Once you can see them, you can find the exits. And there are exactly 3 exits out of the cost trap. Not 10, not a listicle, 3. Exit 1. Own assets, not just income. The middle class is income dependent. The wealthy are asset dependent. That is the single biggest structural difference between someone who escapes the trap and someone who doesn't. Your W-2 salary is taxed at ordinary income rates, the highest rates in the tax code. But capital gains, dividends, rental income, and business income taxed at dramatically lower rates, often with deductions that don't exist for salary workers. The move is to shift, over time, from being someone who trades time for money to someone whose assets generate money while they sleep. That means index funds, rental property, or ownership stake in a business. Not get rich quick, not crypto gambling, real, boring asset accumulation. The rich have been doing this for generations. The middle class was never taught it. Exit 2. Weaponize the tax code before the tax code weaponizes you. The benefits cliff is real, but it has gaps you can slip through legally. If you're a W-2 earner in the 80K to 150K range, maxing out a 401k, an HSA, and a dependent care FSA can reduce your adjusted gross income, the number the government uses to calculate your tax bracket and your eligibility for benefits, by up to $35,000 or more. You can be earning $120,000 and have the tax profile of someone making $85,000. That's not cheating, that's reading the manual everyone else is ignoring. Exit 3. Escape the geography tax. Here's the one that hits different. The cost trap is not equally severe everywhere. Housing in Austin, Nashville, Phoenix, still painful, but half the price of LA or NYC. States with no income tax, Texas, Florida, Tennessee, Nevada, are effectively giving you a 4 to 13% raise the day you move there. Remote work has made geographic arbitrage available to more middle-class households than at any point in American history. The people who recognize this and act on it will compound their wealth at a fundamentally different rate than the people who stay trapped in high-cost metros out of habit or fear. None of these exits are easy, none of them happen overnight, but they are exits, real ones, used by real people, people who started exactly where you are to step off the treadmill before it threw them off. Look, I want to be straight with you. This channel isn't here to make you feel hopeless. I know that's a weird thing to say after a video called America's Middle Class is Crushed, but there's a difference between showing you the trap and leaving you in it, and that's not what we're doing here. The reason this stuff makes me angry, genuinely angry, is that the people I grew up with, people who did everything right, who went to school, got the jobs, bought the houses, played by every rule they were given, a lot of them are struggling. Not because they're lazy, not because they're dumb, because nobody ever showed them the map of the terrain they were walking into. The financial media wants you overwhelmed and anxious because anxious people click ads. The government doesn't have a financial literacy curriculum because financially literate citizens are harder to manage. And the financial services industry makes its money when you don't understand your options because confusion is profitable. So this channel exists to be the thing that didn't exist when most of us needed it, the honest breakdown, the actual numbers, the uncomfortable truths delivered without the condescension and without the sales pitch. You're not failing the system is failing you, and you deserve to know exactly how, so you can start building a way out. Before you close this video, I want to give you one concrete thing to do today. Not tomorrow, today. Go look up your adjusted gross income from your last tax return. Not your salary, your AGI. That's the number on line 11 of your 1040. And then calculate how much space you have between that number and your 401k contribution limit, $23,000 in 2024, plus your HSA limit, $4,150 for an individual, $8,300 for a family. Because that gap is money you are currently handing to the government voluntarily. That's the benefits cliff in reverse, and this time it's working for you. That's your homework. One number, one lookup. And if what you find makes your stomach drop, if you realize just how much of your paycheck has been silently bleeding out, then you need to see what we're breaking down next. Because the trap doesn't just steal your future, it makes you perform a version of financial stability you can't actually afford, right now, today, in the present. And millions of Americans are doing exactly that, looking put together on the outside, drowning in hidden debt on the inside, financing a lifestyle that the math simply does not support. Next video, nobody can actually afford their lifestyle anymore. We're going inside the hidden debt economy that's propping up the illusion of the middle class and showing you exactly how close to the edge most American families actually are. The numbers are going to genuinely disturb you. Subscribe, turn on notifications, because in a world built on financial panic and manufactured stability, the middle class crisis is where you come to see what's really happening. Stripped down, no spin, no sugarcoating. The crisis is already here. Most people just haven't looked at the bill yet. See you in the next one.